some thoughts thinking back on what exactly happened.
Yeah, it's still disappointing. Obviously, it's kind of shocking almost that you finished so early. As to what went wrong, we gave up too many goals for a series. Put too much pressure on our goaltender to make a lot of odd man chance saves, keep us in games, and our special teams wasn't very good. If it was power play giving up goals and the penalty kill also, so it was something that we needed to be better as a team as a whole and better situationally. We lost to a team that played well, played us hard.
Is it possible to play an up-tempo game like you guys say get to your game, as you say, and yet still be responsible defensively? And if so, how come you weren't able to do that, or was Philly able to exploit that, or what?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how we played all year, right? We went and got our chances. We still played good defensively. We had a goal of not giving up so many goals in the season. I think we were fairly close to that. We weren't. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of mind-boggling how we went out and started 3-0 10 minutes into the series, and then 10 days later we're out.
When you go into an off season like this, you want to rest up for a little bit. But what are some of the goals that you have? What are some of the things you want to work on, come back next year better?
The strength, the probably mental aspect of the game, making sure that you're prepared, getting into a routine and things that can build into the off season. Some things you can start just focusing, and then training specific things. Maybe you want to work on a shot or changing sticks and things like that, but nothing out of the ordinary.
In your wildest dreams, you had no idea that you'd be sitting here today. You'd be talking about like a second round series, right? Instead of what's happening now.
That's that was the hope. Yeah, it's still fairly shocking that we played a good team, a good matchup. It was just we didn't execute enough to become a team to move on.
And one final one for me, I would assume that you want all these guys back, right? You're hoping that management sticks with the group that you guys have.
Yeah, and I think that's why they didn't make any moves at the deadline. They believed in everybody in the room for the 82 games or whatever it was that we played well. We played as a team, and for the 6 that we played in the playoffs, kind of got away from our game. We didn't play the way that we should have, and the way that we had been anticipating the whole year, trying to go into playoffs as a team on a roll. So I think we have everything here. We just didn't execute to the fullest that we needed.
I mean, obviously it's a huge disappointment, and it's not where anyone in this group or organization intended to be. And I think that's what you take from it. You take the feeling, you take the bitterness, the uneasiness of it being over, and you remember it and you use that as motivation moving forward. And this is different than last year. I mean, last year obviously is disappointing, but we were men down. Now it's
health-wise was great.
Execution and being able to get a job done, and we weren't able to.
Matt, both Ray Sherrill and Dan Bylsma stepped up and took responsibility for a first-round loss. How do you feel about that? I mean, what were the players' role in that, and what is their role in that?
I guess I disagree. Being a part of it and being a guy that was on the ice every night and being a part of this dressing room, it's each and every one of us as a group. It's not a GM, it's not a coach, it's not a trainer, it's not a left winger or a centerman. It's a group. You win and lose as a team, and everyone to a man should have done something different, should have been better. And I know it's easy to say now, and but it's how we feel as a group in this room.
Matt, did you feel any personal sense of frustration given how much effort you put towards cleaning up your game, and then things like, for instance, the scrum at the end of that Philadelphia game happened where Ronaldo cross-checks you and you get thrown out for it?
It was Cabina.
Sorry, Cabina. Do you feel like some of the hard work you did didn't resonate with the guys who are actually calling the game, I guess is what I'm getting at.
I mean, they have a job to do just as I do, and I'm trying to focus and worry about the job that I do, and hopefully they're doing the same, and that's the best that I can ask.
Pretty not maybe accepting the playoffs. Pretty proud of what you were able to do this past season compared to where you were a year ago.
I think proud's probably the wrong word. I mean, I'm content with how my season went, obviously. Leading up to the playoffs. It's a work in progress, and it doesn't just end now. It's something that I'll have to continue on for next year. And I was able to make a change in my game, and I'm happy for that. But it's an ongoing process, and it's something I'll continue to have to work at. Yeah, he's one of the best defensive centermen in the game, and that's without disrespecting his offensive abilities, for sure. I mean, I would take him every time I could to be my centerman. So hopefully I get the chance next year. I mean, all that stuff is stuff that we don't control, and
will you try to influence his decision at all?
I mean, if he reaches out to me and asks me, obviously I would. I would speak to him in terms and that I understand and that I can speak from in my past experiences, and that's all I could do. I mean, he's a grown man, and decisions are going to be made, and he'll have to. At some point, we all have decisions to be made, and I think that a lot of times decisions are made on sole issues, and sometimes you got to think a bit larger than that.